today we had announced that MLB and the Players Association were meeting today in person. This is the first time, Brig, that these two entities have met in person since the lockout in the beginning of December.
That's right.
And that meeting lasted a whole 7 minutes before anything went awry. So let's see if we can make it to 8, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours. I doubt we're going to have a deal today. But if they can spend significant time at the negotiating table, do you think we have a chance to have a deal in the next few weeks, potentially, possibly, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say a few weeks is reasonable. Yeah, it's not going to be the end of this week either. It probably won't be by the end of next week. And if it is by the end of next week, we won't hear about it for 3 weeks. So just everybody calm down. It's going to be fine. Because then they have to craft the narrative, right? So, but I just had this thought. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
They're meeting in person for the first time. They'll all be able to hide their contempt behind the masks. They probably are mandated.
Maybe. Your eyes say a lot, Brig. Your eyes say a whole lot.
Trust me, I know. But I'm telling you, it's that is a benefit to the negotiations that's kind of silver lining unforeseen.
It's true. You don't see the jaws drop quite as starkly when they're hidden behind masks. But this is my problem with this, Brig, is that the last time they had any meeting at all, I'm assuming the last one was over Zoom from what it sounds like, and it lasted like an hour and a half was all. But it took them a week and a half to come back with a counter. Yep. Like this is like snail's pace kind of stuff, which is bad news. And and really my biggest problem with it is like anytime there's a lockout or a strike or whatever, both sides like we're trying to do this for the betterment of the game, for the health of the game, and the players are like we're thinking about the players in the future. This is what we want to do. We want to have a better place for players in the future. It's like, no, you're not doing it for the betterment of anybody or anything, because if you think about it, missing out on any baseball is going to be bad. If they look back at the strike in the mid-90s, the number of fans they lost, like if this goes on for too much longer, there isn't going to be a future of the game to take care of.
Yeah.
Like it'll be gone. Baseball will be the 4th biggest, maybe 5th biggest sport in North American major sports. And the money won't be there. The popularity, the interest, it won't be there. They're just hurting themselves when they're sitting there trying to be like, well, we're just trying to better things. It's like, no, you're making things a whole lot freaking worse right now.
Right.
That's the problem they have with them taking a week and a half to come back with a counter. Like you don't fight by taking a punch, going back in your corner. Okay, should I go right, left? Like, how do I counter this guy? No, you have to have things prepared, ready to go in the moment, right? I mean, you're the boxer.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, you got to have it ready to go. But the other thing is, Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan to get punched in the face. So that first one can throw everything off. That's possible. I don't know. I'm just saying that maybe they did have some truly unforeseen curveballs, to use the parlance of our times.
I don't know. It's frustrating though. Like I'm starting to get really frustrated with this whole thing. I was maybe a little bit optimistic that they were going to figure something out before spring training, but like the players don't care because they don't get paid during spring training. The owners don't care because they don't get a whole lot of money during spring training. Like, are they going to be like, let's just go like our minimum is like 3 weeks of spring training and then we'll start the season on time? It's like, no, like there's a whole lot of fan loyalty built in spring training because football has just ended. Basketball season is kind of in a lull. Like that is your real estate that you need to take advantage of.
That's true. It is the real estate. And you know what? At this point, I mean, what's nice is that, and I feel this is a little bit different in the 90s or than the 90s, but what's nice is that we know the score. The fans are aware. We're not being hoodwinked. We're not sitting around hoping too hard. We're not, we're hopeful, but it's almost a passive hopeful at this point because we are so jaded from the last time, those of us that were, affected by the last time. Mm-hmm. I think that what we're seeing is the biggest hit we're going to take in the fandom is going to be the newer fans, those nascent fans, our kids, people that even if they're our age, the people that we are getting involved in the game right now, those are the people I worry about because they have the least to lose by just bailing. So I worry about the future that way. And if you add that to the amount of people that they're going to heartbreak, it's going to be catastrophic loss. So I don't know. I wrote that piece on our blog that was a little bit dark about.
It was a little dark. I was also laughing during because the analogy was pretty funny.
For those of you that didn't read it, go read it. But I'm basically what I said is mom and dad are fighting again, and so if you have domestic problems in your family, probably maybe don't read it. It's a trigger warning. But one of my friends on Facebook was like, "Is this real? Or do you know you don't know these people, do you?" And I was like, "No, I totally made it up." But that's how we feel.
It's exactly what it feels like, though. It really, truly is what it feels like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll give updates as they come. Follow us on Twitter at baseball the number 2 together, and I will certainly retweet updates as they come over the next few days. Even like end of the day, I'm hoping we'll have some kind of information about something. But like we said, don't plan on a deal today. After the last time they met, Jeff Passan said there is no deal. There never was going to be a deal today. But at the same time, spring training is getting to be more and more at risk, especially with the snail pace at which these two sides are moving. There is absolutely no urgency at all.
I mean,
and that to me is problematic.
So for those of you that don't know, pitchers and catchers are supposed to report on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so happy birthday to me.
Jeez. Yeah, put that in your back pocket, Brad. Put that in your carnation bundle or whatever they call it, a bouquet.
There you go.
Freak. I don't know. They should get some conversation hearts about it.
Just yeah, there we go. Maybe that's how they'll negotiate. Thinking of you. No, you're not.
Conversation hearts. This one's yellow. I told you last time.